After having discussed in detail the value proposition, let's now develop what we mean by value architecture. We explain in our introduction to the business model that the value architecture is about the how. There are different aspects of the how to envisage if we want to fully understand, grasp, and describe the value architecture of a business model. First, the value chain. Second, the strategic resources. And third, key competencies. The value chain of a business is a set of activities that it performs in order to deliver its products or services to the market. It is usually presented in the following way. It's of course specific to each business. In our example, a perfume manufacturer. Here is a second example in the service area that we will discuss later. The concept of value chain comes from business management and was first described by Michael Porter in his 1985 bestseller, Competitive Advantage: Creating and Sustaining Superior Performance. In the value chain that Michael Porter proposed, he distinguished primary activities, those that create more value, and support activities. The value chain proposed by Porter is not a one-fits-all description. Once again, it has to be adapted to each business. The appropriate level for constructing a value chain is the business unit, not the division nor the corporate level. And this is why it is an analysis well suited to the business model approach. The idea of the value chain is based on the process view of organizations, the idea of an organization as a system made up of subsystems, each with inputs, transformation processes, and outputs. Inputs, transformation processes, and outputs involve the acquisition and consumption of money, labor, materials, equipment, buildings, lands, administration, and management. Products or services pass through activities of a chain in order, and at each activity, the product or service gains some value. The chain of activities gives products or services more added value than the sum of the added values of all activities. How value chain activities are carried out determines cost and impacts profits. We will develop this when we will speak in detail about the profit equation. In other words, a value chain analysis helps explain the cost structure of a business, but these two analyses are not identical. Let's think of a diamond cutter to illustrate the difference between value chain analysis and cost analysis. The cutting activity may have a low cost, but the activity adds a lot of value to the end product, since a rough diamond is much less valuable than a cut diamond. There are two important elements that I would like to stress about the value chain. First, that over time, companies have outsourced, which means taken out of the boundaries of the company many activities that were considered less value creating. For example, manufacturing in the apparel or pharmaceutical industries. It could be packaging or transportation or support functions such as salary management or accounting. Sometimes this outsourcing has been combined with offshoring, which means going to lower cost countries. In other words, describing the value chain of a business today requires to describe the set of activities within the boundaries of the firm and outside. For example, at Nike, only product development, marketing, and part of the distribution are done in-house. Nike's value chain is open. Second, let's remember that a firm's value chain forms a part of a larger stream of activities called a value system or an industry value chain. It includes the suppliers that provide the inputs necessary to the firm, along with their own value chains, and the distributors, which also have their own value chains, all the way to the customers. All parts of these chains are included in the value system. Here we are showing the solar industry value chain. Very often, the phrase value chain is used without any specification, equally to mention a business value chain or an industry value chain. So let's be precise. And today, we discuss the business value chain. It is an interesting approach to describe the inside of a business, but in no way sufficient. This is why we're going to complete it with other approaches. So we will meet you soon to discuss the notions of extended value chain and strategic resources to supplement and finalize our approach to value architecture.